Hey everyone, today we are diving into the world of statistics. Now, don't worry, I'll make it super simple to understand. Think of statistics as a toolbox that mathematicians, scientists, and even social media analysts use to make sense of data. It helps us collect, analyze, interpret, and present information. So, whenever you hear someone talking about trends, surveys, or any kind of data analysis, they're likely using statistics. Speaking of data, let's clarify what we mean by that term. Data is just a fancy word for facts or figures collected together for reference or analysis. In Latin, it is known as the datum. Now, data can tell us different things depending on its type. Let's look at the two main types of data. Data can be like the characters and numbers in a story. Qualitative data describes characteristics or qualities, it's the descriptive part of the story. This usually deals with language. Quantitative data, on the other hand, is all about quantities or numbers. It usually deals with numbers only. With our data collected, what comes next? You guessed it, we need to organize it. Imagine you've got all this data, but it is all mixed up. To make sense of them, you need to sort them. That's where primary and secondary data come into play. Data collected from any first-hand experience for an explicit use or purpose is known as primary data. Data collected by any third party for a different purpose other than the user is known as secondary data. Once we've got our data sorted, it's time to share it in a way everyone can understand. After collecting data, it is important to present it in a meaningful manner. There are many ways to present data. If there is no change in the data and it is in the same form as it is collected, then it is said to be raw data. Range, the difference between the highest and the lowest number of data, is called range. Frequency distribution, when the number of items is large, then we can convert it into the tabular form, which is called a frequency distribution table. Frequency is the number of times the item comes in the table. Suppose we have a classroom with 10 students and we want to create a frequency distribution table for their ages. The data is 10, 11, 12, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14, 15, 15. So from the data, we will try to find these values. In this example, range, the highest age is 15 and the lowest age is 10. So, the range is 15 minus 10 equals 5. Frequency, it represents the number of times each age appears in the table. For example, the age 12 appears 3 times, indicating that there are 3 students who are 12 years old. Frequency distribution, we will make a table for these values. So, we will get the frequency and put the values in the table. To present the very large number of items in a data, we use group distribution table. Class interval, the group used to classify the data, is called the class interval, that is 20 to 30, 30 to 40. Upper limit, in each class interval, the greatest number is the upper class limit. Lower limit, in each class interval, the smallest number is the lower class limit. Class size, it is the difference between the upper limit and the lower limit, that is 10. Suppose we have the following ungrouped data representing the heights of 20 students in inches: 52, 55, 58, 60, 62, 65, 68, 70, 72, 74, 76, 78, 80, 82, 84, 86, 88, 90, 92, 95. Now, let's group this data into class intervals with a class size of 10 inches. Class intervals: 50 to 59, 60 to 69, 70 to 79, 80 to 89, 90 to 99. Now, We can create a frequency distribution table by counting the number of students falling into each interval. In this example, class interval, we've grouped the heights of the students into ranges of 10 inches each. Upper limit, the highest number in each class interval is the upper class limit. Lower limit, the lowest number in each class interval is the lower class limit. Class size, it's the difference between the upper limit and the lower limit, which is 10 inches in this case. Frequency, it represents the number of students whose heights fall within each class interval. One of the coolest ways to share our data story is through graphs. Let's check out a few types. Bar graph. It is the easiest way to represent the data in the form of rectangular bars, so it is called bar graph. The thickness of each bar should be the same. The space between in bars should also be same. The height of the bar should be according to the numerical data to be represented. Here is a bar graph. Through this, the data of people's favorite movies is given. We can see that 4 people like comedy movies, 5 like action, 6 like romance, 1 person likes to watch drama, and 4 people love sci-fi movies. Histogram. It is like the bar graph only, but it is used in case of a continuous class interval. The class intervals are to be taken along an x-axis. The height represents the frequencies of the respective class intervals. Frequency polygon. To draw the frequency polygon first, we need to draw a histogram, then join the midpoint of the top of the bars, a line segment, and the figure obtained is the required frequency polygon. The midpoint of the first bar is to be joined with the midpoint of the imaginary interval of the x-axis. The midpoint of the last bar is to be joined with the midpoint of the next interval of the x-axis. Speaking of tails, let's talk about the measures of central tendency. When we talk about the mean, median, and mode, we are looking at different ways to summarize our data story. Let's dive deeper into each measure, starting with the mean. Mean. The mean is the average of the number of observations. It is calculated by dividing the sum of the values of the observations by the total number of observations. To find the mean, add all values in the data set. Divide by the number of values in the set. In this example, this would be 176 plus 178 plus 178 plus 189 equals 721. 721 divided by 4 equals 180.25. The mean, then, is 180.25 centimeters. But sometimes, the middle of the story is what we are really after. Median. The median is the middle value of the given number of the observation, which divides into exactly 2 parts. For median of ungrouped data, we arrange it in ascending order and then calculate it as follows. So the median is 44. There are different formulas for finding the median. For odd numbers, n plus 1 divided 2. For even numbers, n divided by 2 plus n by 2 plus 1 whole divided by 2. But if we need to find from the data, we can simply arrange all numbers in ascending order. Now determine the number in the middle. In this example, however, since it is an even number, there are 2 numbers in the middle. 176, 178, 178, 189. If you have an even number, you take the average of these numbers. 178 plus 178 divided by 2 equals 178. The median in this example is 178 as well. Now let us talk about the most repeated value. Mode. The mode is the value of the observation which shows the number that occurs frequently in data, that is, the number of observations which has the maximum frequency is known as the mode. In this example, this would be 176, 178, 178, 189. It is easy to see that the mode is 178, as it is the only one that occurs twice. Now let's try to revise the concepts we have learned so far and learn how to apply them. Let's take a look at an example. You ask 10 students two questions: what is your favorite fruit and what is your height in centimeters? Let's assume for this example this is the data for their heights and favorite fruit we got from 10 students. It has qualitative data, which is favorite fruit, names like apple, banana. It also has quantitative data, height in centimeters, numbers. If you asked the students yourself, that means this is primary data. Let's try presenting this data graphically. Let's create a frequency table of favorite fruits. We create a table with the names of fruits in one row and how many students reported it as their favorite fruit in the other. 4 students reported apples, therefore it's 4 in front of apples. Similarly, for bananas and mangoes it's 4 and 2. We can calculate the range for the height using the raw data itself. We can see the most height is 170 and least is 140. Therefore, 170 minus 140 is equal to 30. The range is 30 centimeters. Let's create a grouped frequency table for heights. We need to create height ranges and class intervals first. Looking at the data, we can assume it to be in tens. In the range of 140 to 149, there are 2 students, therefore frequency will be 2. Similarly, we write down the frequency for the other intervals. Class size is calculated as 149 minus 140 plus 1, therefore the class size is 10. We can graphically represent choices of fruits through bar graphs too. This bar graph helps us in understanding how to graphically represent the choice of fruits of the students. As we can see, the number of students is on the y-axis and the name of the fruit is on the x-axis. Similarly, for height distribution, we can use histogram. This histogram helps us in understanding how to graphically represent height groups of the students. Class intervals for the height is on the x-axis and the number of students or the frequency for that class interval is on the y-axis. We can also create a frequency polygon, where we join midpoints of the histogram to get the desired polygon. Now let's measure central tendencies for the sample of heights. First, we need to sort them. Let's calculate the mean first. As we recall, mean is calculated by summing all the values and dividing them by the total frequency. Therefore, the sum we obtain for the heights is 1547 centimeters. Dividing it by 10, we get 154.7 centimeters. For mode, we need to look at the observation with the most frequency. As we can see that both the 150 and 160 appear twice, therefore its mode is 150 and 160 and is bimodal. For the median, we can see that there are 10 observations, which is an even number. The middle two are 152 and 155, therefore the median is their sum divided by 2, which is 153.5 centimeters. Remembering these measures is actually pretty simple. The mean is the average. The median is the middle. The mode shows up the most. And before we wrap up, there's one more interesting formula to share. Did you know there's a formula that links the mean, median, and mode? It's called the empirical formula. 3 times median equals 2 times mean plus mode. We hope that you have understood the topic. You can now study chapter notes, watch video lectures, and solve MCQ tests of this chapter on EduRev. To ensure you score well in your school exams. And that's not all. You also get amazing courses for maths, science, English, Hindi, and much more. Thank you.